Hello everyone and welcome back today for round number 4 here at the GT Sport League at Gavra Racing. We're here for the Belgium Grand Prix, otherwise known as Spa. You could say hello. Hello, and in very fun, interesting race last week. I hope you watched it. If you didn't, go check it out because it was definitely one to watch, especially towards the end. But we have a few new drivers in the lobby today. We have Play Dutchie joining us, replacing Woody in the BMW, and we also have Frozer, who's I can't tell what car he's in the Mercedes. So Frozer will be joining us in the Mercedes. Oriel's also here joining us in the Mercedes with the good nice white livery. And I believe we've got a lot of people in this lobby actually. We've got 12 drivers this time instead of the usual 7 or 8 we've had over the past week. So it's good to see the grid filling up. But currently we're on the outlaps of the qualifying session, a 12-minute qualifying session for these drivers, as it has been all week. We've apologies, but we've also got Phoenix Gamer joining us. He is driving the Toyota Supra, so we'll see what he can do on his debut as well.
Yeah, so a lot of new drivers today and people to prove themselves, to show that they are capable of racing, and yeah, it's gonna be nice to see. Definitely,
we have had Duke win the past 3 races, the first 3 races on the calendar. We got the return of Toussaint, who unfortunately missed last week's race, but he's back to see what he can do, whether he can challenge for the lead. I reckon it'll be really close this week, but we'll have to see what these drivers can do.
Yeah, like, as in the past 2 races, it's always started off really close, usually between Jojo and Duke. So, hopefully it's like that again for entertainment perspective, but probably either of them are hoping just to take the lead straight away. But, yeah. Yeah,
we got, I think Jojo will be the first to come across the line. He's currently on a lap. Duke's pretty close behind him. But yeah, Jojo's the first car on track. The Belgium and the Audi. Let's see what he can do. I believe he came second last week.
Jojo.
Can't remember who came second.
Yeah, he did. He had the spin, but the third place was between Joe and Tiger.
Very fun ending last week. All the drivers pretty close together. Always Jojo's got himself a 5/10 penalty for going wide at No Name, which quite frankly gives the corner its name.
Simo Bear's got himself probably his own 0.1 of a second of a penalty, so probably had a 5.5.
Probably went wide, similar with Jojo. Jojo's
got rid of his penalty.
Jojo's got rid of his penalty, so we'll see what he can do. So that's a 1:41.7 in the second sector. Whether what time that is compared to everyone else's, we'll have to just have a look and wait.
Duke and Jojo are very close together.
So Duke probably trying to get the slipstream then off Jojo.
Yeah. Now Jojo going through the bus stop. This is going to be not a banker lap, but just see. Oh, the back there got a little bit loose, but.
We'll see what time he does. He sets a 2:18 flat. We'll see if Duke can improve. He goes 6 cents slower with a 2:18.6. GJ goes a 2:20 in third place in the Subaru. Phoenix will be the next across the line. He sets a 2:18.3, goes second. Oriel goes into fourth place. Toussaint sets the next pole tap. Tobster actually goes quickest with a 1:20 with 2:17. Sorry. I'm getting my minutes mixed up.
There was a big lad spurt there, and GJ went flying straight into the wall. So, Duke's got himself a 0.5 penalty.
Play Dutchie goes first with a 1:16.7. The first of the drivers to go into the 2:16s. I keep saying 1 minute. I need to stop saying 1 minute.
Tiger won't be happy with that.
I don't believe Joe Black is. I don't believe that's his quickest lap. A 2:41. Hope we probably will see him improve.
Tiger's in 8th pits.
So maybe we'll see Tiger come up later.
He's out
Can't
now, sorry.
find him on my.
Yeah. He's out though. He's going to the bus stop. I can't find him. If you go to
I've tried to flick
go
through all
to-
the drivers. Oh, there he is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm now on board. We've got too many drivers for my keyboard to handle, but the Aston Martin driver is back after a few minor issues. But let's see what he can do after getting his first podium last week.
Yeah. That was a great battle at the end of that race. So
Definitely. Let's see if he can perform again. Going up a Rouge and Radion now. Who will be the next person set up? I think will be Jojo Power, if I can just find him on track. There he is. So let's see what he can do. He's currently 1.3 seconds off Play Dutchy and pole, 8 tenths behind Toussaint in the Mercedes. Now, earlier
Play
today...
Dutchy.
go ahead.
Play Dutchy with a very good lap, and he's new to the series as well. A 2:16.7 is a very good lap.
He's only here to replacing Woody, so maybe we'll see him if he enjoys the game and maybe starts getting some good results. He might start doing this, might compete the full season. But Jojo Power just set the new fastest lap of a 2 minute 16.6. GJ goes quick up into 7th with a 2 minute 18.4. But Play Dutchy's up on his lap time by a few tenths, but he does have a 1/10 penalty which he'll have to serve.
He might serve it at the end of this lap, or
He'll probably get it down at the bus stop.
yeah, you can kind of probably lift and coach in the bus stop, because this game sometimes doesn't. Yeah, he's got rid of his penalty. This game sometimes you can get rid of it quite easy without even meaning to. Play Dutchy crossed the line.
He crossed the line. It's
He's improved.
It's improved, but not by much. It's a 2 minute 16.9. 0.069 seconds off Jojo Power. So as we've seen consistently in this series, that all the drivers are really close in qualifying. I believe every qualifying session from the Nürburgring to here, someone's been less than a tenth off the driver in front or behind.
All the same, our 3-time race winner Duke is still in 8th. I know he's only set 1 lap, but he'll need to improve for his championship as he goes very, very wide.
He set a 2 minute 18.6, and that's not a bad lap, but it's only 2 seconds off Jojo Power. He does pick up a 5/10 penalty.
And Woody's in the chat saying, "Play Dutchy better, do me proud." Yeah, good points in the championship, baby.
Definitely.
If a replacement driver replaces you, if a replacement driver replaces you, does the replacement driver's points go under Woody's name? Or will he
I
get
believe
his-
they will, as Play Dutchy's here to replace Woody, but I'm not sure whether he'd like to. Well, we might. You never know. Next week we might find him racing for the rest of the season. But I believe for today he is replacing Woody. He is in the BMW. 3 minutes left to go in qualifying, so 2 more laps roughly to go.
Duke's after aborting another lap there, so he really needs to get a lap in, as it's about a 2 minute 25 out lap if you're just coming out the pits.
He does have GJ up in front of him, so maybe he's going to try and use him for slipstream, but he seems to be preparing himself for another lap as he rounds the final corner to start his lap. GJ sets a new personal best of a 2 minutes 18. That moves him up into 5th place, I believe. There he is in 5th place. Toussaint goes quicker in 4th place with a 2 minute 17.1, currently almost 5 tenths under Jojo Powers. Oriole goes into 5th place with a 2 minute 17.3, and Simaba behind with a 2 minute 19.2.
Is Tiger Assassin on the track? Because he's not on my list again. Oh, now I can see him.
He is.
12.
Oh, Play Dutchy goes quickest with a 2 minute 16.4. A really good lap from him. As Tiger Assassin is in 12th. I believe he's on a lap. So we'll see where he can put himself on the grid. I believe this is his first proper lap.
AB Tekers is more than a Sebastian race. I don't.
No. I'm not gonna lie, earlier today I found a really good website that had everything you needed to know about this truck, and I am struggling to find it. So if you could
They got
just
the corners. Tiger's about
hold
to
for
cross
a
the
little
line
bit.
now.
Tiger's about to cross the line and he goes 9th. I believe that lap
Play
was
Dutchy.
invalidated though, because his lap time is not coming up on my screen.
Oh, it's coming up. He's in 9th place on my screen.
He says he's in
There's no-
9th, but he said he set a 3 minute 36.5, so
Yeah.
he was probably
Yeah.
gunning to improve.
Did you get invalidated?
I'm not sure, unless he had a penalty on his lap that if you cross the line with a penalty then your next lap will be invalidated, but there's only a minute left to go, so these will be the driver's final laps.
No.
Play Dutchy's coming sorry, yeah?
Well, no, it's just blank. Well, anyway, 118, you'd be still behind Dutchy.
Who I think Jojo Power will be next. Yeah, Jojo Power's
Oh,
gonna set the
Tiger.
next lap as Tiger.
Just don't get a penalty in this lap.
As he's coming through No Name now. We'll see what lap he can do to get himself up better than last position. Duke sets a new this new best with a 2 minute 18.1, and I believe
Only
that
six, though.
puts him 6th place. So look at the gap there between him and GJ, 0.003 seconds. He will, I believe, he crossed the line in time to set another lap. Simaba set a new time of a 2 minute 19 flat. Play Dutchy goes even quicker with a 2 minute 16.3.
Play Dutchy, yeah. Play Dutchy really impressive. He's 3/10 ahead of Jojo Power, which is really, really impressive.
In his
And
first race.
Now, Tiger, I'm not sure, could you hear him there? He was having issues. Did you hear him that?
Just give me 1 second, guys, and there we go.
Because he was talking to me a second ago, but I'm not sure, maybe you might still have him muted, but he was basically saying that he's put in a couple of laps and it's not counting for him, and so
Not
very, very
interesting.
unfortunate.
Joe Black also hasn't set a lap. He's in the pits, so I don't know whether we'll see him out, whether he's here or if he's just not done a quarry lap. Interesting. I don't know what's gone on there.
And Duke only in 6th place. I think he's on a lap now, but he'll be hoping to get a little bit higher up for his championship and even continue his win streak. And
Definitely,
the first corner here could be a bit chaotic.
It could be with a tight turn 1. Should
And
make things fun.
Tiger's coming up in 8th, but he still hasn't set a time. So I think Tiger depends.
I think
Did
he's.
Joe have a
I'm not
penalty?
sure if he's set a time. I think he's set a time, but I think the game's saying he hasn't set a time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not too sure because it says. Oh, now he's saying it's in 12th place. So
Yeah.
Frozer can't get back on track. Interestingly, I can't spectate Frozer as well. So I
Yeah,
don't know
neither.
what's gone on there. Maybe he's quit the game and got backed out. I'm not too sure. Duke sets a new quickest lap time. That's put him up into. Oh, he remains in 6th, but it's improvement. Hussein's going to cross the line, but it's not going to be an improvement. I'm not sure what we've got here.
So I know. Yeah. So play Dutchy though on pole position right now. I don't think has everyone set a lap.
I think everyone's set a lap, but there could be one other person. I can see someone on the map.
Tiger's going very fast. I'm not sure. Like he's pushing, so that might be him on the lap. I'm not sure, but he's not going to finish the lap because we're done now.
The qualifying's over. I don't know what happened there.
Play Dutchy on pole position in this first race. That is very, very impressive.
So yeah, play
I demand
Dutchy.
a restart.
What happened? Or
It's not letting me put in a time.
Natty, can you hear that?
Yeah, we'll see. Duke, would you not?
It's about the race.
I don't know what happened. But it appears, I'm not sure we're having a restart. 'Cause it looks like we're going racing here.
So
Belgian
play
Grand
Dutchy
Prix.
on pole.
Play Dutchy leads, followed by Jojo Power, and then Tobster to Saint Oriel Duke, GJ Phoenix Gamer, Simaba, Joe Black, and Tiger Assassin rounds off the grid. But here we go.
Everyone's
Round
very
4.
spaced out, obviously, because
Definitely with the rolling start, there's about a 5/10 gap between each other, but already a 1.5 second gap actually to play Dutchy and
yeah.
Jojo Power. So that's a very weird rolling start. everyone's gone through turn 1
everyone-
cleanly, but the gaps just seem to be really big between everyone on this rolling start.
Yeah, it's 8 tenths. But Duke is looking. Oh no, sorry, it looked a lot closer there a second ago. Everyone threw a route clean. Froze
Now
saying
Frozer
they were
hasn't
top
got
race.
into the race, so that's
Very, very weird.
very disappointing. I don't know what's happened there, unless he's backed out of the session thinking he can rejoin.
I've no. Oh, Tiger's on the back of Joe Black. He might be. He's.
So Tiger's on the back of Joe Black. He's looking for a move. Decides to back out of it. We've seen these two come together in the past at the Circuit de la Sarthe. Let's hope that they don't recreate that incident. We've got yellow flag. Someone's off. I'm not sure who's off.
Oh, GJ.
It's
the
GJ.
Costa Rican.
I'll get a replay of that for everyone and see what happens if it
He's
would...
got big damage. His bumper
Oh,
is red.
he's going side, but he went side by side with Phoenix Gamer, and then he's just lost it. He's gone onto the curb and he's just lost the rail onto the grass. We'll have a look if he collected everyone.
Not a
Oh,
good
no.
start. In last race, he got in an incident with Woody. I think it was.
So he'll be looking to try and improve from that. I'll try and...
Tigers all over the back of Joe
accidentally
Black.
just quit, so if you could just give me 1 minute. I'm trying to get the race information up for everyone. There we go. Now you can see
Tiger down the inside of Joe Black. What a move!
Tiger down the inside of Joe Black. I'll get a replay of that for everyone due to
That was
my
a
spectator
bold
issues.
move, but it was a very nice and
Riding
he's
on
shown
board
that
with
he shouldn't be
Tigers, so
starting
yeah,
fast.
gone down the inside of him. A nice move. Went for the gap. It was a very small gap, but he was able to fit the Aston Martin through, and he's made himself up into P9 after his qualifying issues. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
there.
Duke has had himself a penalty. Just served it there, but Duke in 6th place, hoping maybe to get better. But Clay Duchy's got himself a 2-second lead already.
So Play Dutchy definitely showing what he can do on his debut, replacing Woody in the BMW. Let's go on board with Toaster now, as he's probably the closest battle on track between him and Toussaint. We'll keep an eye on the guys in the midfield as well. I believe there's a close battle between Phoenix and Simober as well. Who am I looking? Oh no, Simober and Tiger Assassin, they're really close to each other as well. But Toaster and
GJ's in the pitch. GJ's in the pits.
so GJ repairing the damage that was done earlier, but Toussaint now right behind the Toaster, the German driver in the Honda. Frozer's leaving after he couldn't join the session. I don't know. It's such a shame that he couldn't join. I don't know what happened to him.
Toussaint is all over the back of Toaster right now. He'd be hoping they can move. It's amazing how much they're able to cut that corner there.
Yeah, how much
So-
curb these cars can take, and obviously they got quite a bit of downforce, with about weighing, I think, 1.2 kilograms, I believe these cars are. So they can definitely take some of these corners at some high speed. But
They're,
I think-
oh, Tiger down the inside of Phoenix, or Simober.
Similar, that's
Tiger,
a
another
nice
great
move. So coming from the back, a really impressive performance from the Aston Martin driver. I'll get a replay up for that for you guys, because we missed. I got the end, like the middle of it. So we'll see what happened here. It's a likely move, late on the brakes. Lovely move from him to get himself up into P8 in this race. We'll see how he can
But
do.
Simober Simober's still like with Tiger, so he's kind of dropping back now a bit. So that might be over. Toussaint and Topstar are still very close, less than a second. They could still.
7/10 separate these two drivers.
Joe Black is all over the back of Simober.
Joe Black over the back of Simober. So this is probably the closest battle we've got on track, other than the few leaders. We'll get back up to them pretty shortly, but I'm going to ride on board with Simober, as Joe Black's all over the back of the Nissan driver, as he'll look for a move maybe into
Will he
the
go
inside
for
or the outside of the bus stop chicane. We'll
Will he
have a look.
even
I'm
wait
not
for the
sure. I think he might wait for the main straight. He's kind of backed out of it there.
Toussaint might have a run up Rouge on Topster.
Seems to be a good run through turn 1 for both of them. I think Toaster got a slightly I suppose Toussaint got a slightly better exit than the Honda driver, but we'll see if he can make a move up the upper Rouge and up Radion now. Very easy place to get onto the curb on the grass of spin, as Toussaint cut the corner a little bit. That could be a 5/10 penalty for him. We'll see what the game says, and it is a 5/10 penalty. So but he's tucking him nicely behind.
He's-
Less than 2 tenths separate him. He needs the slipstream now. He's going to move to the
Right on the
outside
outside.
line. Late on the brakes, going
Late
to
braking.
around the outside,
Oh.
and it's a good move from the
That's a
Mercedes
Very
driver.
nice move.
See if he can keep
Oh,
the position.
so-
But it's pretty close, as you don't want to see him ghosting after him serving his penalty. Well, the game thinking he's serving his penalty. That could be catastrophic. But yes,
I'm just going down. Phoenix Phoenix is all over Tiger at the moment. They're separated by less than 1/10 of a second, so, and they look really slow in my screen for some reason.
I believe Tiger Mark just got past Phoenix, so I'm not sure if I missed that.
Yeah,
That could be why they're close together. But Tiger definitely showing what he can do, what the pace he has in this race after the glitch he
Duke's gone
had in
very wide. Duke's gone really
qualifying.
wide. Out of Puon and
So off a 3-time race winner after the first 3 races, currently in 6th place. So he does have some positions to try and catch up on. So got a few overtakes to make, but it's been a really good start to his championship. Definitely picking up so far.
yeah, that's a record to be proud of. Ooh,
Definitely. It's Tobes is all over the Tobes is all over the back of Toussaint now. Less than a
He might make a
tenth,
move from
almost
the bus
separated
stop.
them. He could make a move into the bus stop, whether he'll go for the inside or outside. He looks for the inside, but decides to tuck in behind the Mercedes, and probably might save it for turn 1 or the straight.
Toussaint still has that penalty, don't forget. He's gonna have to serve that. He
think
might go a little bit wide, so he might get the slipstream. Like, I know I sometimes do that on F1 to get the slipstream, but he served his whole penalty in one corner there.
It is
Which is
quite
very
easy
impressive.
to serve. Yeah, it's quite easy to just break a little bit earlier, and then for the game to think that you've actually served your penalty, when in all fairness you're actually just braking for the corner. But Toussaint getting himself up into the podium position after missing out the last week's race. We'll see what he can do.
Now Tiger Graston has a bit of catching up to Duke. There's a 5.8 seconds is the gain, so I'll keep an eye on that gap to see is he gaining time. Oh, Simmelbear and Phoenix are very close together, less than a 10th down the straight.
So maybe we'll see the Honda driver go for a move on the Nissan. Nissan's going defence to the inside, but not offensive enough. The Phoenix is looking for the inside, whether he'll go down the inside or just tuck it behind. He does go for the lunge on the inside. Oh, he loses the back in a little bit. There's a little bit of contact, no damage, but Phoenix has lost the rear a little bit there. And there's now side by side with Joe Black. He's going to go for a move down the inside. Maybe
Phoenix has
decides
rear
to back
damage.
out a bit.
Phoenix
Yeah,
has rear
Phoenix has got
damage.
rear and rear left damage, so he'll have to. He might pit or try and nurse his car to his first pit stop when the drivers start to run out of fuel. But it's another three-way battle for 8th place here. So these three-way battles are pretty common in this series, in this league here. We're now
But
down to
Phoenix
11
looking at
drivers
Joe
now.
Black.
Yeah, Joe Black looking all over the back of Simmerbo as well. But I believe Phoenix is trying to try and get the position back on Joe Black after his mistake. I don't believe Joe Black's got any damage. As Joe Black's going down the inside of the of Phoenix, he doesn't make the move stick. I forgot what car Phoenix is in. I'll just double check that he's in the Toyota Supra. On his debut, we've got quite a few new drivers that I mentioned at the start. Phoenix is one of them, so he's going to be keen to impress everyone. The gap to Toussaint and Toast has now gone up to 8 tenths.
The gap between Duke and Tiger, and Duke spotted a second on Tiger, so Tiger might need to get some pace, but Duke still has 5 seconds to catch up to 5th place, so a lot of catching up.
However, the gap was 9 seconds from Duke and Tiger, and it's now 6.3. So whether there was a mistake or Tiger's just got so much pace in that Aston Martin after his glitch in qualifying. So really good performance coming from 12th place on the grid all the way up to 7th already.
Play Dutchy and Jojo Power, the gap is 1 second. That's gone down.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe we saw a mistake, or Jojo Powers put the foot down, or whether Play Dutchy's conserving his fuel.
If you look on Jojo's car, he's no damage, but like when you look at his car, there looks to be a lot of damage.
There does seem to be a little bit of damage. That could be just visual damage from minor contact, but nothing major. I think the only person with major damage is Phoenix with that rear left damage.
Yeah. Let's see the gap between Tiger Oh, Tiger's got himself a 5-10 penalty, so he needs penalties here. Not hard to get, but not very easy. I feel
it's pretty easy in this game to just run slightly wide onto the curb and get a penalty, even if you don't gain that much of an advantage. But I don't know. Sorry, yeah.
The closest battle on track is between 10th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, so they're all spread out by
Phoenix running really wide with his rear left damage. He might get a penalty for that. We'll have to wait and see. I think he's got away with that one. As he's gone wide again, that rear damage is definitely not helping. It's Joe Black's one down the inside. Good move from him.
That's a
He's
very
made his
good
way
move,
up into 9th place, but I think Phoenix is struggling with the damage he's got to his car.
Yeah, and pit stops will be coming soon. Probably another maybe 8 minutes as Duke gets himself a 5-10 penalty. And the gap between Tiger.
So I'm looking at the battle for Toussaint and Tobster, now 3/10 between them. Tobuster's all over the back of Toussaint, so battle for the final podium position here. There's still 50 minutes left to go though, so
Tobster sets the fastest lap as well, so he's obviously really pushing.
That slipstream, definitely he will use the slipstream to his advantage and try and gain in on the British driver in his Mercedes. But Jojo Power is also looking to gain in and play Dutch. He was just less than a second between them two as he goes up Rouge and Radion.
Yeah, hopefully they all keep it clean. And then the gap between Toussaint and Tobster is still 4/10, so you see Toussaint weaving on the straight, well not weaving, but trying to break the slipstream.
Yeah, trying to break the slipstream as Tobster goes 1/10 quicker than his last lap, so he's definitely pushing.
Just that little bit harder, hoping to get the move done.
Yeah, the gap between Tiger Assassin and Duke is now down to 7 seconds after Tiger served his penalty. It was 10 seconds a lap ago, but now it's all the way down to 7 seconds, so really good performance from him so far in this race.
Yeah. The gap between Tobster and Toussaint has gone into, not gone down or gone up, but it's 6/10 at the moment, so he might be holding back, saving a bit of fuel to deploy it all in the straight. And I would say around 40 minutes you might start seeing pit stops, or I'm not sure. That's just me looking at their fuel.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Well, some drivers might be conserving their fuel, some might be trying to push and get an early advantage in this race, and then hitting early and then going for a long stint on conserving high fuel load.
Yeah, so Tiger, Assassin and Duke's about 7.8 seconds, and then moving back. Everyone's kind of spread out by at least a second, and everyone's kind of just calmed down.
I reckon the closest gap though is for 3rd place and the lead as well. 6/10 between Play Dutchy and Jojo. However, in the background you can see Tobster and Toussaint going. Toussaint's picked up a penalty, but Tobuster's going to go round the outside into the bus, so that would be a really good move if he could get pull that off. I did not see that coming. Now 3/10 separate them. Let's see if we'll see if the Honda can make a move on the Mercedes in turn 1. Decides not to go for it, but he'll have a good run up through turn 1. He's got a really good run through turn 1. Closing the gap to Toussaint now as they approach Rouge and Radion.
So he's hoping to get a good exit out of Rouge and hopefully has a run. Toussaint will be trying to break the slipstream as much as possible.
Two battles going on for the podium position. I'm just going to look at Jojo Power and Play Dutchy real quick. There's gaps going down from 2/10. Really late on the brakes.
Side by side, Tobster and
side by side between Toussaint and Tobster. Toussaint's going to go hold the outside line. Tobster doesn't decide to go for it up the inside, but really good battling from these two so far.
Play Dutchy and Jojo is 3/10 now, so Jojo really putting the foot down and hoping to take the lead and maybe take his maiden victory in the GT League.
Have to wait and see. Toussaint still has that 4/10 penalty, so he'll have to serve that before he gets ghosted, and Tobster could just drive through him if he serves it at the wrong time, or if he serves it on the straight, that will lose him a lot of momentum. Currently Jojo and Play Dutchy still 4/10 between each other, so we could see a change for the lead soon.
And yes, Jojo as I say, this could be his maiden victory, with Duke kind of out of the equation at the moment. He's just in 6th place. He might be struggling a little bit, but I would never count him out because we've seen his pace before.
The gap seems to be kind of fluctuating between him and Tiger Assassin. It was 7 seconds, now 9 seconds, and it was 7 seconds, and now it's back up to 9 seconds. So it's maybe a mixture between pushing and conserving on the fuel, as Joe Black's got himself a gap to Simmerber, who's got a big gap to...
between Play Dutchy and Jojo's 1/10. Jojo
and Jojo's going to try to go around the outside. He might get this cutback move on Play Dutchy. He'll line himself up for turn 1. We'll have to wait and see, but try and get a good exit. I believe he hasn't got the best of exits, but gap still 4/10 between them. Ahsoka Havmis, Tobes has got past Toussaint. I don't know when that was, but I missed that. Apologies, guys. The replays won't get go back that far, unfortunately. But now Toussaint's going to have the slipstream up the straight.
The gap between Play Dutchy and Jojo has gone to 5 cents. But it's going down on the straight quite dramatically by about 200, so we could see a move for the lead here. Jojo
potentially
might be just that
now the gap's 210, where he'll go for a lunge up the inside, decides to tuck in behind Play Dutchy, the BMW driver. Saint's got another penalty, but I'm assuming that's going to be for extending at Rouge, or Radion, sorry. See if he can come get himself a podium. But two drivers. Sorry, yeah.
I was going to say the battle for the lead is the closest battle on the track at the moment.
So we have two drivers making their debut on the podium. Good showing from him, but I believe Jojo is the first of the lead drivers to go into the red fuel. So he's only got about 2 or 3 laps left.
Down the inside. Down the inside.
Jojo maybe looking down the inside. That would have been bold if he could get that off, but just decides to back out of it and tuck in behind Play Dutchy for now.
He's gone very wide.
Runs really wide.
That could be a penalty.
And he's drifting through. And he's onto the gravel. He's on the gravel. That's cost him a lot of time.
The back there got very, very loosey-goosey.
That could have. He could have gone. That could have ruined his chances of a podium if he just. But he's managed to save it well on the curb.
We saw last race in Austria that he just tapped the gravel and just spun, and he still finished second, but it did cost his race. He couldn't have been fighting for the lead. Could
have been, and he does have that fuel warning light, so we might see him pit soon. Like you said, it's almost the 40-minute mark, so I believe Thomas has probably been burning his fuel trying to gain in on Play Dutchy's. Play Dutchy's now just gone into the red fuel.
Yeah.
Someone we haven't talked about too much is Oriel, who's had a pretty clean race in 5th place in the podcast. He's in the Mercedes in the Martini Racing. the Williams-styled Martini, the old Williams-styled Martini Racing.
He might be hoping for Tobster and Toussaint to have a battle, and probably secretly he's hoping for them to crash.
And the first of the pits, the main pit stops without a collision is Tiger Assassin, who's got he only had really low fuel there, so the noise of the pit stops is just deafening. I need to just turn my volume down a little bit. That was really loud.
How much fuel is he putting on now?
He's putting quite a bit of fuel, so maybe we'll see him do what he's done in the previous 3 races, pit on the first few laps and then go long on the race. He's got his windscreen wipers on, which is something we've seen him do throughout the races, which is a bit of...
I asked him the other day why does he always keep it on, and he says his button mapped for 2 things, and he doesn't notice it because he uses Bonacam. So there's a reason.
He's binded his one of his controls with the windscreen wiper, so every now and then he can have better vision, even though he's not racing in first person. But the closest battle on track is probably for 3rd, even though the gap's separated by 2 seconds. So Toussaint's dropping off a little bit. I don't believe he has damage, probably conserving his fuel.
Jojo's dropped back another second. He was about 2 seconds behind at the start after he made his mistake, and now he's gone down another second. Though he's very low on fuel. I think everyone's in red now, except people who have pitted. Though, to say just over half his tank full, so will that bring it to the end?
Potentially. As I've just noticed, Phoenix has fixed the damage to his car. He's put on half a tank of fuel, so he might conserve that to the end, or he might just burn it and make another pit stop.
All the same, GJ's found himself on 9th again.
So GJ after that early crash with, I believe it was Joe Black. I can't quite remember who he came with. Oh, it could have been Simmerber. I can't quite remember, but he's done well to get himself back up into 9th place. He's put on quite a lot of fuel, about 75% of his fuel.
Yeah. And Duke is in the pits.
Duke's in the pits, so he's gone in to change his tyres, putting on the super soft tyre. And
how much fuel?
How much fuel? I reckon he'll put in quite a lot of fuel. As Joe Black's also in the pits as well. He's following him in. We'll see how much fuel these two put in. So he put on quite a bit of fuel. He's put on about 3/4 of his tank.
Oh, he's locked up coming out. Oh, that might be lag. I'm not sure it's that lag, but
it was all clean on mine. Probably lag, as spectator cameras we saw last week does tend to glitch quite a bit sometimes in this game. Joe Black putting on quite a lot of fuel. He is running a Senna styled helmet, which is really quite nice to see. I say Senna styled, the exact Senna styled as Joe Black's put on 3/4 full of his tank. Toussaint closing the gap to Tobes ever so slightly. It's not much of a packed what's the word I'm looking for? It's not much of an overtaking race so far, but just like we saw in Austria, the final 10 minutes are often where we see all the battling. It's often the first lap, and then the strategy game comes into play for the middle 20 minutes, and then the final 10 minutes are where we see all the overtaking as everyone burns their leftover fuel.
Jojo has taken 2 seconds off Play Dutchy, as Play Dutchy has a 5-10 penalty.
So Play Dutchy, not sure. We'll see. These drivers haven't come into the pits yet. We'll see. I don't believe the top 5 have pitted yet, but we'll see if Jojo comes into the pits. Jojo comes into the pits. Whether we'll see Tobes follow him in. Yeah, Tobes follows him in. Will Toussaint do the same? Yes, he does. So the top, second, third, and 4th place all pitting. Whether we'll see Oriole come into the pits or whether he'll stay out. Oriole comes into the pits as well. So Play Dutchy's the only one to stay out. I wonder how much fuel he's got. Looking at Jojo and Oriole, they've got 2, 1, 4 and 1% left of fuel. So how much fuel has Play Dutchy got?
Oh, that would be devastating for him if he ran out.
This could be interesting to see whether all the as Tobes and Toussaint are now literally ramming each other out of the pits. I think they've ghosted through each other. That's how close they are. I'll try and get an onboard of Toussaint. They are really close together. Less than a tenth separate them coming out the pits. Will we see them go side by side up her Rouge? Hopefully there's no contact. But this is what I was talking about with the strategy game and the different fuel lane. Now Toussaint looking at the back of Tobes. He's lost a little bit of time up her Rouge and Radion, but you can see them in the background, in the foreground actually. Jojo Power in front of them, about a second or two in front. But I'm going to ride on board with Play Dutchy. How much fuel has that man got? He's surely running on some sort of different fuel. He's using the wind, and he's probably blowing into his fuel, into his engine to try and keep that car going. I think he's run out of fuel. Potentially. If you look at his onboard, his rev light's pretty. His rev light's stuttering a little bit. Whether that's a spectator car, but I think he's really low on fuel.
Yeah. Ooh.
He's run. I think he's run out of fuel. Oh no, he hasn't. He's just. I'm not sure. It's just could be just been my horrible spectating.
And don't forget, Toussaint and Tobes are still very, very close. But if March and Play Dusty doesn't come into the pits this lap,
he's ran out of fuel. I reckon. I think that could have been him just going into the corner, but I think he's.
No, he still seems to go on.
Not sure, but he's got to come into the pits this lap. If he stays out, he's a madman.
Yes,
but he's coming into the pits. I want to see how much fuel he had in that BMW. He had Oh, he had two. Interestingly, he didn't burn. He still had quite a bit of fuel left, so must have been conserving.
Interesting to see the gap between Jojo and him when they come out.
Definitely is. I think third place is our closest on-track battle. If you could see anything else, just let me know. Now, Play Dutch. He's dropped all the way down to 4th place, but that could just be him in the pits, as there is no animation for coming into the pits. He's come out of the pits back up in first place.
3 second gap, 4 seconds.
So he was able to maintain his gap on low fuel. Obviously, he would have a lighter car, but he would be in a low fuel mode.
He's less fuel than Jojo, so Jojo may be going for that extra push. Sorry, I just have to go for 1 minute. Is that okay?
Don't you worry about that. I'll keep you covered.
Thank you.
As Toussaint actually the first of the top 4 to put on the least amount of fuel into the Mercedes. Really interesting from him, as he's closing the gap on Tobes. Quite late on the brakes actually. He's all over the back of him. Maybe we'll see a move for 3rd place. We'll have to wait and see. But meanwhile, we'll get while Tiger Assassin is he's got 9 seconds in front, 12 seconds in back. Can we hear from the man himself? Is he able to join us? Tiger, are you here?
Hello.
Hello. So, could you explain to us what happened in qualifying? We heard you had a glitch or something.
Yeah, I was going around. I was putting timers in. I had no penalties at all. I mean, the first one I got a penalty on, and I did another 3 laps after that, and the game just wouldn't let me put a time in.
Disappointing for a glitch to ruin your race like that. But do you think? Well, you've had an amazing start, starting 12th, and now you're up into 7th place. So, do you think you'll try and challenge Duke for a 6th place? Do you reckon you'll catch him before
I'm
the end
going to
of the race?
try. I've done my same sort of form of strategy again of going on to the set of softs, because I know how good they are at the end of the race. So I'm on them, and I've got I'm banking on that I have enough fuel to the end of the race, but it's going to be close. I might have to make one smaller pit stop just for a little bit more fuel if I can find a space somewhere, but if not, I'll just have to conserve it. But I'm going to try and see if I can get the jump on these guys, especially with strategy.
Alright, it's been good to hear from you. Hopefully we can catch up with you later on in the race, and I'll let you get back to chasing down Duke, who's currently in 6th place. Jojo Power has the fastest lap of the race of a 2 minute 16.2, so it's pretty close. I believe that's quicker than what he done in qualifying, so that's a really good lap from him. He set that on his 6th lap, currently averaging the 1 minute 16s, I'd say, before he pitted. He's conserving fuel in those previous laps. You can see on the right hand side.
I just joined there, and Toussaint is all over the back of Tobes. So 210s going for Rouge.
Yeah, it's a battle that I've got my eye on this battle. Woody's just been saying what a gamble by Play Dutchy to stay out, and it has worked for him with his light fuel load. But Toussaint now gaining on the straight. He's looking for an inside line on the straight, whether he'll go into. He's going to go for a move down the inside, and they're side by side. There's a little bit of touch, but that was really close to Tozer coming back and hitting the rear. But clean racing from everyone so far.
Nice.
I think we've only seen 2 major collisions on the opening laps.
Oh, Tozer goes very wide.
Tozer goes wide after trying to probably try to look for another line back. We'll see if we can get an onboard of what happened to Tozer there.
All the same, the top 3 are only separated by 5.8 seconds. So if Play Dutchy and Jojo Power even get a little bit of a battle, that could allow 3rd and 4th place straight back in. And then we could have a very, very exciting race on our hands.
We could have a 4-way battle for the lead, but so far something that hasn't disappointed us are battles on the closing stages of this race. We saw a similar thing in Austria, where we saw 3 people battling for the final podium position.
And even we saw it in Del Sar. We saw a little bit of at the back of the grid.
And at the front as well, with Toussaint and I believe it was Jojo Power battling for 2nd place.
Toussaint and Tobster. Tobster getting back 210s. He might have been looking to the bus stop.
Potentially. That gap now less than 2 seconds. He's tugging in behind in the slipstream, revving it in 5th gear. He might keep the revs in 5th. He's looking for the outside, but maybe he'll try and do the switch back. Tucks it behind it. He'll try and get as Toussaint goes defensive into the bus stop. He's got a good run into turn 1, but I'm not sure we'll see him move into there. But we'll have to wait
And
up
just over
the straight.
just under halfway. We're just halfway distance.
Yeah, 30 minutes gone, 30 minutes left. It's taken me 30 minutes to find the race information that I wanted, but the total length of this track, 7 kilometres, with a total elevation distance of 104 metres, 21 corners, and the longest straight being 751 metres, so I'm glad I got that out.
Oh, Toaster!
But Toaster's got a really good run up her Rouge and Radio. He's looking for the outside, but he's got a 5-10 penalty. The two going side by side on the straight, Toussaint on the inside, Toaster on the outside. He could potentially go, so this could be an interesting battle. Late on the brakes, it goes round the outside. Tiger Assassin's into the pits again.
It's going to turn into the outside. Oh, very,
they're still side by side. Whether we see Toaster do the switchback into whatever corner, I don't know what it's called. But the one before No Name, if someone could help me out, that would be really thankful. But Billy, but yeah, really good battling as Tiger Assassin's actually coming to the pits there.
Tiger Assassin.
Pitted for the soft tyres. So those.
The pits for me.
He came up with the thing that he's came into the pit, so I think he might have put on more fuel. I don't know whether he got damage or not, but
no, I don't think he did go into the pits.
It could be my dodgy spectator cam. We saw last week what happened with my spectator cam. But Toussaint and Toaster now, they got 1.1 seconds. So whether we, I didn't know if Toaster made a mistake.
Very interesting. It's not as much action as previous races, but when there is action, it's very, very fair and actually great racing.
And like we've seen in the past 3 races in this league, we've had battles at the start, and then after the pit stops, it all kind of it doesn't die down a bit, but it becomes more of a strategic game about how much fuel you put on and whether you start to conserve or burn the fuel.
GJ and Joe Black has gone down. It's only 8-10. Sorry for cutting you off there. But that was just the nearest battle, I think, on track. And
then at the end of the final 10 minutes, we see everyone using their low fuel and their high power to battle it out in the last few minutes.
Toaster's cut back up to Toussaint with the gap 7-10s. So it's going to be a great battle for the podium, and I'd say Oriel be an amazing result for him to get the podium if these two crash. Hopefully not. I can't see them crashing because we've seen the race. It's been extremely great racing, hasn't it?
Definitely, it's something to touch up on. Play Dutchy and Toaster and Oriel, all new drivers into the league. This is their debut, running in 1st, 4th and 5th, so a really good performance from them.
It's great to see new drivers coming in, and there's still a couple of spots left, I think.
I think we've got 1 or 2 spaces left.
As Toussaint's got himself a 5-10 penalty. So that good.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's really easy to get penalties, but also pretty easy to serve them in this game. So we might see him serve it now, maybe, or he might do it into the bus stop. That's the easiest place, and turn 1 as well. Turn 1 also another easy place to serve penalties.
Yeah, it's very. Tiger Assassin and Duke. Now, Duke is 3/10 behind him, so Duke might have a run.
I don't know if I missed a pit stop or an overtake or a mistake.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tiger Assassin
after
my screen pitting has come out in front of Duke. I don't know if Duke's pitted. I'll just have a look at his tyre.
Sure, after this we might be even able to check it in with him.
But he's gaining. He's going to look for the inside. He's going to go down the inside.
Late braking
from the Mercedes driver. Really clean move from these two guys. So far we've had no major collisions other than what we saw on the opening few laps.
Do you know what happened to Phoenix Gamer? I know he had a bit of damage.
He had damage, and then he's probably
48 seconds behind Simobear.
I believe he's almost about to get lapped by Play Dutchy, which is I think only the second time it will be happening. Yeah, you can see him in the background there. Whether he made a mistake, it is his first race, so maybe he's trying to get used to his car, or he's I don't know, but yeah. Well, I don't know what's happened there, but we'll keep an eye on him. He's setting.
Oh, Tiger down the inside.
Tiger down the inside of Duke. I'll get another replay of that. Oh, I say another replay. I'll get a replay on that one because I've missed it there. We'll ride on board with Tiger Assassin now, and they just got such a better exit, and he's just down the inside. Clean move.
Napping there. I wasn't really I don't know what happened. I just saw a blue car in front of a green car.
Clean move from him in the Aston Martin.
So this is a bit of battle. So Duke looking to get the move back, and he probably will wait till after a Rouge and then Dame Radion. He might.
Oh, we got a move for third place. Tobin's going side by side with Toussaint after the straight. It's a good move from him.
Keep an eye on Duke.
Oh, they're still side by side. The Mercedes looking round the outside. I don't know if I'll have enough time to get a replay. I'll try and get a replay if it lets me. Yeah, it was a clean. Oh, interestingly, Toussaint serving his penalty, and Tobin just went round the outside, but a little bit went.
Duke broke a lot later than Tiger, and that kind of cost his momentum a bit, but he still is in the slipstream. So very interested stuff here. We might see Duke make another move on Tiger. It's the first time we really see. Oh, he's completely cut the Rouge, so he's going to get himself probably a 5-10 penalty.
Yeah, he's got himself a 5-10 penalty, but he has got a good run on him because of the penalty. But I think, yeah, he's tucked in behind. He's off the accelerator, serving his penalty on the straight. Clean and respectful driving from him, serving his penalty on the straight and not using the corner cutting momentum to overtake him. But clean racing from everyone after we've had a few collisions at the back, but Play Dutchie still leads the way for 8.6 seconds, followed by Jojo Power.
Toussaint is closing back the gap on Tobster again. This is a great battle throughout the whole race.
It is, so maybe we'll have to see another position for third. I'm also keeping my eye on 6th place on the leaderboard, but the gap is coming down to Jojo Power as well, so maybe we'll see a three-way fight for the lead.
Really hard. I don't know where to look, to be honest. Duke has gotten the gap down to 2 tenths now, so Duke really putting the pressure on. It's the first time we really see him trying to make the moves. Usually he's defending, so we're going to see, is he an all-rounded driver, which I've no doubt he is.
Oh, and Toussaint has got, Tobes has got a good run up her Rouge and through Radion. Will probably keep his position.
Duke's going to have a run on Tiger. 1/10 the gap now, down the inside, side by side. He's going down the inside.
Side by side into the bus stop. That's a good move from him.
It's a very nice move. Ooh, he's gone very deep.
We'll see the switchback potentially from Tiger. He's done a beautiful cutback. Now side by side into the straight. Duke giving the flash of his lights there. Enjoying the racing. As the Tiger's going to have the outside line, but whether we'll see him do the switchback move into turn 1, it's a good switchback move. He's going to get a good momentum up the her Rouge and up Raddy on their side by side. This might not end well, but they're going to side by side up into our Rouge.
No, they're still going side by side.
And Tiger decides to back out into. I was hoping for that could have been interesting, but better for the.
Has GT cars ever gone up there side by side cleanly?
We might see that later. We've got just over 20 minutes left in this race. If you would like to stay on board with this battle for 6th place, I'm going to go up to Tobster, who's currently closed the gap to Jojo Power 7 tenths, but the gap to 2 tenths now 6 tenths. So we're going to maybe see a 3/10 lead. Toussaint's run really wide.
I'd say Play Dutchie has got himself a 10 or a 9.3 second lead. Amazing on his debut,
before the race started, I'd just like to add that Tiger did challenge Play Dutchie to a race, and then it's turned into Play Dutchie dominating the league race so far. He's got 9.4 second gap. As you can see, who is that? Phoenix, and the just up ahead of him. He's going to be lapped pretty shortly.
And so we're gonna have a 3-way battle for 2nd place. So yeah, this is great racing. This, as we said, with 20 minutes left, we could have a sprint to the end. Hopefully we do.
Hopefully.
And now Duke has pulled about a 1.5 second lead over Tiger. So I'll say Duke is happy to be passed and signing I don't know what I was about to say there, but
the gap from Jojo Power, the gap between Jojo Power and So the gap between Jojo Power and Tobes is now 1.3 seconds. So he's found a little bit more pace. Maybe he's pushing on his fuel, but maybe close three-way fight for second place soon potentially.
Oh, Tiger's right behind Duke now, 2/10.
As he looks to the left-hand side, Duke's gone defensive to the inside. Whether we'll see Tiger go round the outside or whether he'll do the cutback move like he did last time. He's going to try and hold it round the outside. He's going to go round the outside. Really good move from him.
Is this going to be side by side again?
We might see another side-by-side action into Rouge and then Radion. Who's going to be the one to back out, or whether they'll both go flat out? They've both decided to go side by side up Rouge, round the outside. Oh my god, what a move! They're still side by side down the Camel Straight.
Duke, what a move! That was.
Duke flashing his lights, but they're still side by side down the Camel Straight. Go battle for 6th place. Whether this is Tiger Assassin go for a late breaking move, whether he's decided to back out, he does it. He's serving his penalty. Tiger Assassin all over the back of the Mercedes.
And look who's in the background. GJ.
GJ closing on this gap in the Subaru after his early spin. So these guys fighting have cost him a little bit of time.
Toussaint has gone into 3rd place.
Toussaint moved on to 3rd place. I don't know what's happening. I forgot the button for the replay camera. I'll see if I can get a replay of what happened with Jojo.
I think Tobster might have had a pet. Is Tobster out? He's still ghosted. I think Tobster might disconnected. He's gone incredibly slow.
The last time I said someone disconnected, they didn't disconnect, and then it was Tiger Assassin. I'm not too sure. I'm riding on board with him. He might have left. Yeah, he's going really slowly. I don't know if he's got an issue there.
GJ is all over the back of the battle for 6th now. So we see a 3-way battle for 6th
how unfortunate for Tobster.
Jojo has got himself a 5-10 penalty.
So it's a shame to lose Tobster on his debut, running really well in 3rd place.
Yeah.
I thought Jojo had spun it. And I saw a ghosted car. I couldn't quite tell which one it was, but it does appear to be Tobster. So Oriole.
It's been Tiger. Tiger is looking down the inside. Oh. Tiger
looking for down the inside.
Oh, Duke goes very wide.
A little bit deep, but Tiger Assassin will have the cut back now. We're going to ride on board with him as he gets the move side by side with the Tiger Assassin and Duke. And there you can see in the background, like you say, GJ looking in to be a part of this battle. But earlier, what a move! Oh, Duke going down the outside to turn 1. Not again.
Side by side?
Who's going to back? Duke decides to tuck in behind, but. What a move that was, side by side up Rouge and Radion. That could make the top 10 moments of the week.
Really had a big moment.
Yeah, a bit of oversteer in the Mercedes, but that hasn't cost him too much time on the straight. I'll ride on board with Duke. He does have himself a penalty. And he's serving his penalty on the straight, which means DJ is going to go through up into 7th place.
I wonder, does Duke know about the serving the penalties in the corners? And
I mean, fair play. Good respect from him if serving it on the straight rather than getting the momentum up the corner, and so good sportsmanship from him serving his penalty as soon as possible.
Obviously the video taught him the sportsmanship in GT.
That really fun video of the sportsmanship tutorial. Yeah, I remember that back in 2017 when I first got the game. These guys now going into...
we should be worrying about that at the moment, because we've got a 3-way battle for 6th place.
We do. The gap's kind of opening up a little bit, but maybe we'll see them close in on the straight. Hopefully we'll see a really good clean battle like we have for the past 3 weeks.
And this league has yet to disappoint, I don't think.
I need a drink.
Yeah, I don't want to drink.
A mistake I made last week.
I've drank too much water, and it's not looking good for the freshman series, which is coming up later tonight at 8:30. Plug in.
Tune in for that. Apologies, but now Jojo Power and Toussaint currently got a 1.8 second gap between them guys, so the gap opening up a little bit.
Duke's have a 5-10 penalty, and this race, Duke is kind of struggling to get pace this race. I presume we're expecting so much out of him after his 3 race wins that we just expect him to be up at the front.
These new guys showing him what he's got with Play Dutch. He's still leading, but 12.4 seconds now. 15 minutes left to go in this race. We've had 75% of the race done, only 25% left of it. Currently on lap 20, so how many laps is that going to be? That's going to be about, let me work it out real quick.
Woody in the chat saying ghosting usually happens when you pause the game, and then I'm pretty sure if you lag out it kicks you from the game.
Yeah, I reckon.
Tope's just back racing.
Tope has been able to join back, which is excellent for him, and hopefully he can get his way back up into P3 or P4, as Oriole's now taken that position due to his disconnect. I don't know how long he's been out of the session for, but Tiger Assassin leads the train of the 6th place train as
Duke down the inside.
Oh, GJ really late under the brakes. He's got massive damage, really big damage. Just
he is full. That's a retire. That's like a. I'm not sure. Duke is front left damage. I'm not sure what happened there.
I'm gonna ride on board with Duke from the replay and see what happened.
Duke.
Oh, unfortunate.
I'm not sure. Did they make contact?
Duke. There was contact between Duke and GJ.
I'm not sure.
GJ broke earlier than Duke expected him, and then he's not happy in the chat. An unfortunate collision there. At the end of the Kemmel straight, GJ braking earlier, and then Duke had nowhere to go. Unfortunate from those guys.
Duke has front left damage, so will he pit? I don't think he will pit.
GJ's got damage everywhere other than his front and rear left tyre.
Yeah, that is retirable damage. I would say.
I'm not sure. He does have his hazard lights on, so maybe. Yeah, look, he can't get above 110 miles per hour, and he's ran really wide. Simmerberg's going to go. He does have engine damage. Simmerberg's going to go through round the outside. How unfortunate for him.
Are we able to talk to Duke, or we leave him seen where he's there?
Duke, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, do you think you could explain what happened between you and GJ?
I made a huge mistake. It was my fault, and I didn't expect him to brake before the marker, so yeah, I just messed it up, and it was a mistake, and I take that entirely on my own plate. That was my fault, and I sincerely apologize to GJ.
Phoenix Gamer, sorry, it's gone off. I don't know where he is in the track.
He's coming through P1, I think that is.
He's got engine damage.
He's been lapped by Play Dutchy. I don't know.
That was him then. What the hell?
Oh, he just locked up and went straight off into the wall. I just got an end of the replay camera, and he just locked up all of his tyres, and he's gone straight to the wall. GJ's into the pits to repair the damage done earlier.
Yeah, sorry if I couldn't Duke off there. I just saw that I was strung through the camera. I originally thought it might have been him letting through the lap cars, but then I saw he had damage on his GJ's in the pits. So obviously never give up, is GJ's basically saying.
Yeah, we've seen people pit many times and they've come back. If anyone remembers the 2011 Canadian Grand Prix, we saw Jenson Button come into the pit 6 times and was able to win that race. But I'm not sure with 11 minutes to go we'll see a dramatic comeback from him. Unfortunately, we got Play Dutchy winning this race by 14.4 seconds. Then we've got Jojo behind him. He's got a 3-second gap up to 2 Saints, so the gap's getting increasingly bigger between those two guys.
Phoenix is gone. Oh, Tope's there! Down the inside of Oriole!
Tope's down the inside of Oriole. Just got the end of that, but Oriole's going to try the cut back. We've got blue flags, so I'm assuming that's Phoenix Gamer. Oriole and Tope are now side by side into turn 1. The Mercedes versus the Honda. The Honda's going to go brake slightly early and tucking behind, so he'll get a good run in up Rouge and Radion. It's all good on my end. I'll keep you updated of what's happening, but Tope's just tucking in behind Oriole as he's got a decent run. We'll look for a move potentially at the end of the Kemmel straight. The gap now 3 tenths and closing. It's now 2.5 tenths, now 2 tenths, now 1.5 tenths. Now 1 tenth. He moves to the left hand side, which will be the outside.
But will turn into the inside crucially, so. And then we'll turn into the outside again.
These two now side by side on the Kemmel straight. We've seen many moves in this corner. They're still side by side. A little bit later braking from Toast. They're really close between these two. Another close call. Oriole hangs on to his 4th position in this race. And I believe there's someone in the pits. It's Duke. Duke's into the pits to repair the damage on his front left.
Yeah, that would cost him. That could cost him up to 10. It depends how long it takes him. Where's Simo Bear?
Simmerberg moves himself up into seventh place.
Beside Joe Black. And Joe Black's going through the bus stop now.
See, but Simmerberg's just about to go through turn 1, and I believe Duke is come out the pits. He's come out in the pits in 7th, so he's come out just.
So he's
come out ahead of Simmerberg, and the gap to Tiger Assassin.
Right behind Oriole again.
Tiger's now right behind Oriole. So after disconnecting or potentially rage quitting, I don't know, but probably it's due to a disconnect. Tobes is back, and he's definitely showing what he can do in his debut. These two impressing us really, really good performance from these two. As Oriole's got a little bit one, and that's allowed Tobes to go out the inside. Oriole's almost lost it, and he's gone really wide. The camera angle showing me the wall, which is a really nice thing to see, in the nice hills in the background. But unfortunate for him to go wide again. So Oriole's struggling, or he's maybe pushing too hard.
Surprising that he didn't get a penalty. I know he obviously.
There it is. There's the 5/10 penalty.
Commentator's curse there.
Commentator's curse plus the penalty simulator that is GT Sport. 8.5 minutes to go in in this race.
And I think Tiger has asked for too much, asking Play Dutch to come to GT with a 15.6 second lead.
And Tiger now 1.5 minutes. Yeah, 1.5 minutes behind. Well, 1 minute 30 minutes. 1 minute 30 seconds behind Play Dutchy. So if I can get my words out, yeah, that would be a good start, I guess.
So
closest battle on track, I believe, is still Toaster and Oriole.
Tiger might need to find a new game and see if he beat Play Dutchy, maybe Mario Kart or.
Mario Kart. but maybe they could venture onto a good old F1 Race Stars, of another fun,
what
just
a game.
luck-based racing game.
That's why I see Mario Kart with F1.
And luck, but I think the closest battle on track is between Toaster and Oriole. I'm seeing someone go through turn 1 who's about 2 seconds between each other. But I'll keep my eye on the battle for 4th place. There's two Saints.
Oh, sorry, I thought Jojo was on the gravel there. I just got a really weird camera angle.
Two Saints picks himself up a 5/10 penalty just as I spectate him, so I hope nothing else comes.
As Two Saints goes straight into the gravel.
Yeah, a bit of a, that would be a bit of an issue.
Oh, Playgo's got himself a 6/10 penalty. But
so
I think that's
despite his 16 second lead, he's got a 6/10 penalty. I'm not sure. I don't think Jojo will be catching up anytime soon with that penalty, but hopefully we'll see a good fight for the lead. As
I'm not sure, is Tiger on the line or is he gone?
Tiger, are you here? Are you here to talk about what's been happening?
I'm here, hello.
Hello, how's the race been? 23 laps in, we had a really good battle
alright,
with her.
Actually, I've quite enjoyed the battle coming from the back. I'm still really annoyed about qualifying. I could have been up there with that lot, potentially, but I'm quite annoyed, and it hasn't really been the fairest of battles between Play Dutchy, and I didn't challenge him to come on GT Sport. I said, well, why don't you come on GT Sport? It wasn't strictly a full-on challenge, but no, I'm happy where I am right now. I think Duke had some sort of a problem before he crashed, because I managed to make up a 9-second gap in the space of about half a lap, so I'm not really sure what happened there with him, but it was unfortunate. I saw the crash so I managed to just see behind the crash between him and GJ, but it's unlucky. But I'm sitting comfortably now in 6th and just come on with the points in these last 5 minutes, and hopefully, hopefully the game will bug out on me next week when we're in Monza, and I'll actually be able to put in a good time. So
I've had a look at your timings on the right hand side, and you've set a 2 minute 14.8 with the fastest lap being a 2 minute 16. Was there a bit of corner cutting in that, or?
No, I have no clue what that is.
Interesting, but
it's gone to a 2 minute 20. Oh, it's gone to 2 minutes 20 for me now.
Yeah, that's because he's just set another lap. So so yeah.
I'm not sure what that was. Probably just a load of slipstream and max fuel. So
starting 12th, I'm sure you're happy with 6th place.
Yeah, I'm happy with 6th place. I'm just still annoyed about that quality. It would have put me in a better position really to start the race, but a basically been on a catch-up game all race, but I'm happy with 6, especially from starting from 12. So I'll definitely take that.
So yeah,
we'll see how his race goes. Currently got almost a minute to Oriel and 11 seconds behind him, so he's currently in a race of his own, just keeping it clean and consistent. Whether his fuel probably will last until the end of the race, which is something I was just about to touch up on. Toussaint is in the red, and it's got just under 5 minutes left. So
Oriel's in the red as well.
We've seen Toussaint manage his fuel well at the Nürburgring.
And in Delisar.
But yeah, it's a longer track than at the Nürburgring with 2-minute lap time. So interesting to see the fuel strategies. I don't think we've got many on track battles.
Seeing if there are any close battles at the moment. I don't think there really is. We usually. Oh my god! Phoenix Gamers just gone completely cut the grass.
I'll try and get a replay for everyone and see what happened. But
I think it was just a bit of a...
Could be lag, but we'll find out anyway. Whether it is like he does have a 5/10 penalty. Oh, he did. He ran really wide. Oh, he's bunny hopping onto the grass and.
I just saw the front of his car when that happened, just bouncing up and down. It was like Valtteri Bottas.
Interesting debut from him. Currently 3 minutes and 23 seconds behind, so maybe he's not happy with the car. We did see him pick up a lot of damage twice in this race.
Yeah, when you go into the pits, does it clear the damage completely if you wanted to, or does it?
Yeah, there's the option to clear damage, change tyres and refuel. You don't have to do all of them. But
one person who must be really happy is Woody right now.
Yeah, not racing. Currently watching the race. I've been seeing him in chat, and his replacement's got 17-second lead. That being Play Dutchy and a nice.
I think that's a bit of tactics by Woody there.
So I believe that Play Dutchy's about to lap someone. I believe that's GJ. He's got the blue flags being waved at him. The Subaru driver who had a early crash at the start. I'm not sure if there is ghosting for lapped cars. I don't think there is, but we'll find out sooner or later.
It was in the collision with Duke. Wasn't he? Was it GJ?
GJ, yeah, had his collision with Duke, and then also had the spin at the start with, I believe it was Joe Black or Phoenix Gamer. I'm not too sure. Don't quite remember. That could have actually been Simmerber, who we've actually not talked about quite a bit in this race. Who's just been running in 8th place. It's good. It'll get him points, at least. Good.
Toussaint has come out in 3rd after memory of that 3-way battle for 3rd.
Yeah,
or 2-way. Or
currently, there was almost a 3-way battle, but Jojo was able to extend his lead, or extend the gap at least. Now 6.6 seconds.
Has Jojo finished 2nd every race?
I believe I believe he finished 3rd in the circuit of the South. Toussaint got 2nd place in that race, so it's been a good average, consistent performing from Jojo. He's running in a podium position almost every race, along with Toussaint. However, he did unfortunately miss last week.
He's gonna gain a lot of time or points on Duke, because Duke's only in 7th place. So I'm not too sure.
This could change the championship up quite a bit. With I believe Duke's got about a 20-30 something point gap.
A good buffer.
It's quite a big gap, but it will certainly hinder his championship lead.
I had a bit of lag there. Play Dutchy was straight in the gravel. I was about to go absolutely crazy.
I wonder if we'll see Play Dutchy stay in this league, or whether he's only going to stay for the league.
I think he might be taking the mick at the moment.
I'm not. Let's have a look. Let's see. Let's expose him, everyone. Let's just have a watch until he's on the straight-ish onto the backstop. He's gone wide. That is an exact replica. I'm not even kidding. People watching, go back about a minute. That is an exact replica of what he done last time. I'll keep an eye on him and see if he does it again, but almost a mirror move.
Hey, Duke has gone down to 8th. I
Duke
swear
went
he was
up
in
to 8. Yeah, what? I wonder what happens here. Oh, that's the end? I didn't even know
What?
that was the end.
No. What?
Jojo Power's
got the-
finished.
But Play Dutchy hasn't.
I think what it is because Jojo Power's crossed the line on the time limit. Play Dutchy's been able to do another lap.
So,
what? Sorry, never mind. Ignore me.
Oh, this is mind-boggling stuff.
I didn't see that. That's the end of the race.
Play Dutchy just can't. He should have the win now unless he makes a bad mistake. But he's come up to Duke now. He's come up to a lap car.
Yeah, what? We'll have to hear with Duke at the end of the race and see what happened. But on the last lap, we got a three-way battle for 8th place. Joe Black, GJ, and Duke is also sitting in the background.
Simo, where are we?
Toads and Oreo have crossed the line. Tiger Assassin's about to cross the line. I have no idea what happened to Duke.
He
We'll
might
have
be letting
to.
GJ. He might have been looking at that sportsmanship video again, and let
Attention.
GJ.
Oh, we got a move. Oh, he's cut up between GJ and Joe Black. We're gonna have another last lap. Move with only a minute and 50 seconds left to go before the race will end.
I think Duke was just letting GJ by.
These guys are having blue flags for Play Dutch in the background, so Play Dutch is having a really good view of this battle for the last lap of the last lap for P8 as Tiger Assassin's about to cross the line now. GJ's looking on the move for Joe Black. Tiger Assassin just crossed the line to finish in a wonderful P6. My driver the day after starting in 12th place.
Stay back.
Joe Black, sorry, GJ looking all over the back with Joe Black in the last lap. Whether we'll see a move into the bus stop, whether we'll see a late dive, finish over the line. GJ's going for the outside. Duke almost down the inside. 3 wide Duke's down the inside of GJ's, a little bit more contact. And into the final corner now. Duke's going to try the switch back with GJ. This is going to be really close to cross the line. Will Duke get the position? I think Duke was letting him through there. Yeah, that was another great race as everyone got lapped apparently. Play Dutchy lapped the field because he crossed the line before the time limit ran out. So on his debut, Play Dutchy wins the race, followed by Jojo Power, and then Toussaint coming across the line in 3rd place, followed by who is it? Toaster in 4th, Oreo in 5th, Tiger Assassin in 6th, Simmerber in 7th place, Joe Black in 8th, GJ in 9th, Duke in 10th, and what's the last? Phoenix is in 12th.
It's saying Tiger came. Oh no, sorry, that's just the lobby order. I was going to say it's saying Tiger came 11th, but
to Duke, a good end. But was there sportsmanship in letting GJ through there? What happened at the end?
Yeah, at the end I waited for GJ and I let him through.
So
very good sportsmanship.
Another really good race here in the GT Sport League. Tiger, are you here to talk to us?
Hello.
How was the race from your perspective now that we've completed the hour?
I was happy with the result in the end. 6th place isn't bad at all, especially starting from the back, but bloody game wouldn't let me qualify at all, which is a bit stupid, but you know, I managed to give me a bit of a challenge to come back and get up, so I managed to get get into 6th position and get some good points for the championship, but hopefully out in Monza it won't do that for me for next week, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Next week we are at the Monza. We're at the Temple of Speed in Italy with no chicane this time, so it's going to be a really fun to see those cars go through at full speed with the slipstream and everything.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Monza's like with no chicane. I've never seen that before, so it's going to be very, very
straight
interesting.
on turn 1. So that has been round number 4 of the GT Sport League. I hope you've all enjoyed watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And then yeah, we'll see you next week where we'll be at Monza at the same place, same time, same date. Goodbye.